Hello everyone and welcome back to PFJ. Today we're going to talk about HSA accounts. Last week we touched on them and we talked about what is an HSA account and how it works. Today we're going to talk about the nitty-gritty of an HSA account. So to start off with, how do you qualify for an HSA account? To qualify, you need to have something called a high deductible insurance plan. Now, as the name suggests, you need to have a very high deductible with this. These plans usually qualify as what we call catastrophic coverage, meaning they might not be good to have for diagnostic care now and then, but if you get in a car accident and you need $10,000 of coverage or you need big surgery, this is where these plans come in. So when you look on the market and look for high deductible insurance plans, there might be a lot of plans they say that they are, but there's some minimum deductibles and maximum out of pockets that they would need to qualify for. So for an HSA accounts, when we're talking about 2022, to qualify for this, you need a minimum deductible of $1,400 if you're an individual and $2,800 if you're a family. When you're talking about out-of-pocket maximums, then you're talking about $7,050 if you're an individual and $14,100 if you're a family. If your insurance plan meets these criteria, then that would qualify as a high deductible insurance plan and would qualify for an HSA account. Now, in addition to these, you also need to be above the age of 18. You have to be an independent, meaning you cannot be a dependent on your parents' tax returns. And usually you have to be under the age of 65, or if you're over the age of 65, you cannot be enrolled in Medicare. And if you meet all of these things, then you would qualify for an HSA account. Now, if you do qualify for an HSA account, there are some limits on the account that you should be aware of. To start off with, just like with our pre-tax and post-tax accounts, you just can't put all the money you think you can into these accounts. There are limits to these accounts. So again, I'm talking about 2022, for an individual, the maximum you could put in was $3,650. And then when we're talking about a family, the most you can put is $7,300. Now, if you're over the age of 55, then you can put an additional $1,000 into these accounts. And that's how much you can put in them. And that's the maximum you can put on them every year. As you can see, this is not a lot of money when we compare these limits to our post-tax and pre-tax account. Post-tax we had $6,000. With pre-tax we had about $20,500. So the limits come because this is a triple tax protected account. Now, we talked about how we put money into the account. Now let's talk about how do we take money out of the account. So to take money out of this account, if it's for an health expense, it qualifies. You either use a debit card or just reimburse the expense through your account directly. And we'll talk about what exactly in health it qualifies for. The other is if you're over the age of 65, you can take this money out for non-health related things, but you have to pay income tax. Having to pay taxes when you take the money out essentially makes this a pre-tax account at that time. So that's something you might want to consider. You can just then treat it as like an extension of your pre-tax accounts and then spend money that way. If you really need to take the money out under the age of 65 and it is for a non-health related issue, then you do have to pay income tax on it. But in addition, and you have to pay a 20% penalty. This pretty much negates any of the tax savings you would have had from this account and makes this just a normal brokerage account. Now let's talk about the health part of this. What exactly in health does this qualify for? So this essentially covers any doctor's visit. So annuals or physical exams of any kind, this will cover. This is like for kids or for adults. This would also qualify for medications, or if you need to be in the hospital for any reason, this would kick in. This also covers birth control. And this also covers long-term care facilities. Now, things it does not cover, we should also talk about. Not covered. Any sort of childcare, so daycare or any of those things, it will not cover on its end. Any sort of vitamins, it will not cover either, or any sort of elective cosmetic procedures, it won't cover either. Outside of those things, it will cover everything we talked about so far. And for most people, these things are the more life-threatening things that can happen, so it's good that it covers so many things. Now, having said all of these things, why would somebody actually wants to use this card at this point? Why save for retirement? Why save for a health account when you might get penalized for it, or you might save too much money into it and basically use it as a pre-tax account? Why go through all of this? Well, the why of this is that there's been projections that when people retire, they use about $200,000 to $300,000 in medicine. This can be needing to go to the hospital. This could be needing to stay in a long-term facility like a nursing home or a long-term acute care facility, a rehab facility, and those things like that. So having money saved up for something like this that does not require that you also have to pay taxes on those things helps out a lot. The other reason for this is if you do have a high deductible health plan and you work or you're able to set this up, pretty much all your medical expenses become tax-free. You don't have to pay taxes on that medicine or going to the hospital or paying that bill, so this is huge. The other reason is, and the reason I use this for, is I'm fairly healthy. So I have a high deductible health plan and I basically dump money into an HSA account. This allows me to save money now and to save for things like an accident or something like that. Because I do have a high deductible health plan, the deduction on those and out-of-pocket maximum tends to be $7,000 to $10,000. And that's a lot of money and I don't have that much saved up. So I put that into an HSA account every year and save money for that reason. So it's a great place to put away money for future health needs. Now lastly, let's talk about how the logistics of it all actually works. Now, how do you actually set this up? Well, a lot of employers will actually offer this. So if your employer does, definitely use that opportunity that you're getting and basically enroll into it, pay money into it. Sometimes they will just take it out of your salary and then you don't even have to worry about paying money into it. Other times you can set it up yourself, and that's also easy to do. The biggest thing you're looking for is that there are no management fees. A lot of companies will charge 1%, 2%, some sort of percentage just to keep your money into the account, just to manage the salaries, just to manage the receipts that are coming in through the accounts and things like that. So you want to make sure that you have no management fees associated with it. This might come in the form of transaction fees or monthly fees or some sort of fees. You just want to make sure that you have a free account. The service I use personally is called Lively. It's a free service. I don't get paid from them to give their service out. I've just used it, had good experience with it. They don't have any of the management fees, transaction fees, monthly fees, and all that stuff. So I like that product. Now, once you set this account up either through your employer or by yourself, how do you actually take money out or put money in? So most of the time, you will either get a debit card, and this debit card you can literally use for anything, and you just pay with it. Or because you have this account set up, you can always reimburse yourself. So if you're going to go the route of saving receipts and using them later on, I would definitely recommend the reimburse route, and then you can just go from there. And that is the details of an HSA account. We talked about a lot of different things. Let's just do a quick summary of all of this stuff. We talked about how an HSA accounts, to be eligible for it, you need to have a high deductible insurance plan, minimums, and you have out-of-pocket maximums. If you meet those, you have a high deductible insurance plan. This data is for 2022. For 2023, just do a quick Google search and you'll find that information. You must be more than 18. You have to be independent and you cannot be a dependent on someone else's taxes. If you're over the age of 65, you cannot be enrolled in Medicare. Now there's limits with these, how much you can put into the account. For individuals, it's $3,650 in 2022. For families, $7,300. If you're over the age of 55, you can put an extra $1,000 into it. Now, how do you take money out of this account? So any health expenses you're doing, such as annuals, physical, medications, hospitals, birth control, you're in a long-term acute care facility, all are covered. Child care, such as daycare, is not covered. Vitamins are not covered, or any sort of elective cosmetic surgeries are not covered. If you're over the age of 65, you can spend it for non-health related expenses, but you do have to pay income tax on that money then. If you're below the age of 65 and you take it out for non-health expenses, you have to pay income tax plus a 20% penalty. So try to avoid doing this, because this essentially makes this a brokerage account and you get none of the tax savings. Why do we want to do this? It's projected that as people retire, they end up using 200 to 300K in medicine in the US. So having some money set aside for that is extremely important. And if you have an HDHP account, a high deductible health plan, then you can pretty much pay for most of your medicine tax-free. If you do have to take the money out at some later point, just pay penalties on it and you can just use it as normal money, because you're just paying back the taxes that the government took off early on. If you're young and healthy, this is a great opportunity to just get a catastrophic coverage plan, meaning if you get into an accident somewhere, you're covered, and then just put money into an HSA account so that you can pay for those deductibles when you do need to pay for deductibles. Most of these plans are set up by employers and they will just take the money out of your salary if you let them and fund the account that way. If your employer does not offer an account, then you can set it up by yourself. Big things you're looking for is that they don't have any sort of fees, management fees, transaction fees, monthly fees. The service I use personally is called Lively. You can Google search it and it will be available. It's a service that I don't get paid for, but I like the service, so I'm recommending it. When you get an account set up, you'll usually have a debit card set up with it, and you can just use that for all of your medical expenses. And you'll also have an account set up, meaning you'll have credentials to log in somewhere, and then through there you can always reimburse your expenses if you're going to get the right of saving your receipts. That's all for today. I hope you liked this video. I hope this was useful. If you did, please like, share, and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. Notes will be available on pfjourney.com as before. I hope you liked this video. Have a good one.